Shabbos, everyone. This week's parsha, this is the parsha of Yitzchak Avinu. Parsha where Yitzchak really takes the forefront of everything, but to be fairly honest, he doesn't last too long. We go right into Yaakov, and we focus mostly on the interactions between Yaakov and Esav and the stealing of the brachos, the deception that happens. But really, this is the only real parsha that we have about Yitzchak Avinu. And Yitzchak Avinu is a tremendous individual. But really, what should we be focusing on? What should we be understanding when it comes to Yitzchak? Well, there is one story that we do have at the beginning of the parsha that does give us a little insight into who Yitzchak was and how Yitzchak was one of our forefathers. The pasuk tells us at the beginning of Perek Chavav, "Vayihi ra'av ba'aretz milvad harav rishon asher haya b'mei Avraham vayelech Yitzchak el Avimelech melech Plishtim gerara." We have a famine, but it's not the same famine it was in time of Avram Avinu. It's a famine that Yitzchak has to respond. And we know that when Avram Avinu experienced the famine, he went to Mitzrayim. But over here the pasuk says, "Vayera elav Hashem vayomer al teired Mitzrayim, shechon ba'aretz asher omar elecha." Dwell in the land, do not go down to Mitzrayim. Gur ba'aretz hazos ve'enyeh imcha va'avarechecha. Go to anywhere else. Go here. And he continues and he says, "V'akimosi es hashvuah shenishbati l'Avram avicha, v'irbeisi es zaracha." I'm going to fulfill the oath that I had with Avram. I'm going to continue giving you your children. V'nosati l'zaracha es kol haaretzos ha'el, v'zbarachu v'zaracha kol gayei haaretz. But what was so significant? Why couldn't he go down to Mitzrayim? So our sages teach us and our Chazal tell us that he was an Ola Tamima. Yitzchak was very, very unique. He was the only Av that stayed in Eretz Yisrael the entire time. But why did he need to? He needed to stay in Eretz Yisrael to show our connection to Eretz Yisrael. To show everyone that Eretz Yisrael is ours. To show for every generation afterwards that there is a specific and a unique relationship that Klal Yisrael have to Eretz Yisrael. Wasn't going to be shown through Avram, it wasn't going to be shown through Yaakov, it wasn't going to be shown through individuals that went back and forth. But it was going to happen with Yitzchak. Yitzchak was going to stay, and according to the Netziv, he is the yesod of all of our claim to this land. Rav Hirsch writes on the pasuk, "V'zacharti es brisi Yaakov, v'af es brisi Yitzchak, v'af es brisi Avram eskor." The concept that HaKadosh Baruch Hu remember the bris Yitzchak, the bris Yaakov, and remember the bris Yitzchak, and remember the bris of Avraham. The pasuk says that there are going to be times, Rav Hirsch tells us, that there are going to be times that we're going to have difficulties. And that's going to be the time of Yaakov Avinu. Well, we're all in the Golos, as the pasuk later on says, "B'maros halayla HaKadosh Baruch Hu comes to Yaakov." Even in the difficulties of times, there's going to be a Golos. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu is always going to be there, and he's always going to retain that covenant with us. But ultimately, Be'ezras Hashem, there's going to be a time where HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to recognize Yitzchak. And that's the time of what? The time when it comes to Yitzchak, Shekar Asher Yisnaru Min HaGolos, when we start waking up from the Golos. And we recognize what we have. There's still going to be a lot of sinah. There's still going to be a lot of anti-Semitism. There's still going to be a lot of problems. Until ultimately, then we get to the Bris Avram, when everyone starts respecting us as well. Yitzchak is told to go where? He's told to go to Gror. He's told to go to Plishtim, to the land of Plishtim, because all of Eretz Yisrael belongs to us. May we be zoche to recognize the bris of Yitzchak, to recognize the time that we live in, recognize the claim that we have to Eretz Yisrael, and Be'ez Hashem, we should continue being mispala for all of our chayalim, for all of Am Yisrael across the entire world, that everyone should be safe, and Be'ez Hashem, we should see the Gula Shlema b'Mehir Yameinu.